Hi, and welcome to our podcast, Above Deck, a below deck breakdown podcast. I'm Kelly Busby, an executive assistant and former radio host living in Columbus. And with me is my college roommate and most wonderful co-host, Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Goldman, a photographer and former marine biologist living in Charleston. Together, we hosted the Socks with Sandals radio show on WFAL in Bowling Green, Ohio. We've come back together to discuss Below Deck and our love of all things Bravo.
And each week, we'll recap an episode of Below Deck, share a few laughs with the captain and crew, and discuss what's new in the Below Deck universe. Today, we'll be discussing the Below Deck Med Season 8 premiere, The Italian Job.
Here's your recap. Sandy deals with being two stews down and a bosun with bad paperwork. The season begins with temporary help and Natalia filling in as chief stew and Luca as bosun. Chef Jack wows the charter guests with his delicious food, and Sandy struggles with the staffing issues. Kelly, what'd you think about the premiere?
Ooh, I had a feeling this was going to go, it was going to start off rocky, just based on the season premiere and the preview, and they have did not disappoint. It was great. Yeah,
this was. Usually the first episodes are, they're not super exciting because it's just like people arriving.
Right.
This was like so much drama in one episode. It was a lot.
Crazy.
Was it longer than an hour or two? I feel like it was a little longer.
It was. Yes, it was a little bit longer.
So I also feel like a new Below Deck season feels like the first day of school.
Oh, yeah.
What will the new season bring? Should I be buying pencils and notebook paper? The preview did look like Luca's going to be making many love connections this season, and he'll be at BravoCon, by the way.
Oh, fun. So I wonder, when I saw him making all those love connections, is he going to be like the Gary of the Med?
I don't think so. No.
Nobody can be the Gary of the Med.
Nobody can be Gary. So season starts. We're in the Italian Riviera. The boat is named Mustique, kind of an interesting name. It's very large.
The area there in Sarah.
It's so busy.
It's like the chef's kiss to the max. It was absolutely stunning. Cinque Terre, Genoa.
Yeah. Positano, is that one of the places?
I think so.
It's so pretty. So Natalia arrives and she's going to fill in as chief stew because Kyle and Toomey are stuck in immigration.
Yikes.
And Sandy's going to have to bring in some temporary workers to start the season. And this vessel is so large that they have to have 4 on the interior. So Jessica from Hawaii, Jessica with a K, is the other stew. And then there's a temp who's mostly deck, but will be on service to start.
So what did you think about Captain Sandy having Natalia be the chief stew as a stand-in just for a temporary?
I think it was great, but you can tell this is going to lead to conflict later. Even though she did ask her, are you going to have trouble stepping down once the chief stew gets here? She's like, oh, no, I'm good. But Natalia's, she's so good at her job, but she's also great in laundry and she loves cleaning.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be fine. So apparently, I guess she wasn't supposed to be on this season, but she was asked to come at the last minute because
of all
these staffing issues, I guess. Or that's the storyline that they're feeding us.
Okay, that works.
So Chef Jack from Liverpool arrives. He says that he did not try vegetables until he was 16 years old.
What?
I know. This is shocking. He said he did not have a good diet growing up, but he thinks if you genuinely like broccoli, then there's something wrong with you. And now I'm nervous.
Well, I absolutely love broccoli. So what's wrong with me?
I know.
It stinks, literally stinks, but it's good. So
yeah, agreed. So Ruan, the bosun, arrives. He's from South Africa. There are lots of South Africans on this season.
Yes.
Jessica, the stew, arrives. Laura from South Africa and Haley arrive. They're both deckhands. And thank God we have some familiar faces this season because it's already too many people to keep track of.
At least we don't have the Natalia confusion that we had last season.
Yeah, at least all the names are pretty different.
And they don't look like twins.
That too. So Luca arrives. Natalia, she's got her eye on him right off the bat.
Of course she does.
And deckhand Haley works on tugboats. This is her first time on a yacht. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So an inspector comes on board to talk to Sandy, and they call Ruan to the bridge. They don't have the originals of his certificates, and apparently you have to always have those on you. And the boat can be detained for that. So Ruan has to get the original sent from Cape Town, where they're in a safe at a friend's house. And if they don't get the originals in 5 days, Sandy will have to find another bosun.
Is this the first time that something like this has happened on Below Deck? Because I feel like this is very specific, and I don't know if it's because they're in such a big port like Genoa.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Okay, Genoa. But it just, to me, it feels like if you work in the industry, this is something that you would always have with you, that you would just.
That's what Lucas said. He was like, you would always travel with the originals. This is very odd.
And then maybe keep your copies in a safe. So if you would need to.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this is bizarre. We haven't seen this before, but also they say later that this is a commercial vessel instead of a privately owned yacht. So that they have different regulations, I guess.
Okay.
So deckhand Laura grew up on a farm in South Africa.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Did this girl just tell us a story about playing in cow poop?
Yes. Yes, she did.
Diving into it.
But
it was very warm and nice, she said. I had to go back and watch this again. I'm like, did I just hear what I think I just heard?
Yeah.
And she said, oh, when you're young, you don't care. I don't care how old I was. I would know not to play in feces.
I think my face may have turned green when I heard this, and when I really realized what she was talking about. Yeah. And she said it so calmly, like it was something that everybody
just
does.
A normal childhood activity.
It's what you do on a farm. Like I have family members who raised cows. They did not do this. Like,
no, my cousins live on a farm. No, they're not poop diving. This is one of the strangest things we've ever heard on this show. Okay, so I don't know how I move on from this, but
segue.
Okay. Natalia says that she's going to share a cabin with Kyle. Yeah. And Sandy says, what happened with Storm? And she said, oh, it just kind of fell apart naturally. And he's with someone else now. And I'm dating someone, but it's an open relationship.
Yeah, I like how she explained that to someone. How it's not feelings or anything. It's just if he wants to go do something, he can go drop anchor.
Yeah.
But I love that Captain Sandy pulled that out. Like she just was real nonchalant about it.
What about Storm?
And for those who haven't watched, Storm, it was the bosun from last season, and he was good people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was the bosun, right? He wasn't just a deckhand.
He started out as a deckhand.
Okay.
And then Reagan.
Oh, Reagan.
Was let go.
How could I forget?
Yeah.
Okay. Good memory. So the provisions arrive. So does Brooke from Miami. She's another temp stew. And we have an all crew meeting. I know. Have you remembered all these people yet? I haven't.
No.
Okay.
No.
We have an all crew meeting. They very briefly, Sandy says, oh, this is your chief engineer and the chief officer, Tony and Nicola. I want to know these fellas better. They look like firemen or strippers or firemen strippers.
Yes, please. I'm in. So where's this meeting? Where's it happening? Let's go. Side note, the Magic Mike men are going to be showing the Real House Husbands of New Jersey a thing or two in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
During BravoCon.
That sounds amazing. I think we're going to have to be first.
We might have to buy tickets. I'll do the research.
Okay.
Anyway, back to Below Deck.
Okay. So the crew gets to cleaning and organizing.
Which apparently took all day. This boat is 4 stories tall, Sarah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of teak to keep happy.
Exactly. That's a lot of cleaning. So they have an extra stew, but do they have an extra deckhand or no? Or is it the same amount?
So.
So that's kind of interesting. Okay, so preference sheet meeting. The primary is Sandy's friend and Dr. Keon.
Okay.
Or Keon, and he's celebrating his 40th birthday with friends like us. He had his 40th during COVID, so this is kind of a do-over. It's all dudes. And years ago, Sandy was in a car accident and she could not close one of her eyes, and he fixed her eyelid. So I don't know if he's an eye doctor, a plastic surgeon, whatever.
He's a magician is what it is. Okay, so for his 40th birthday, he's doing, time in Italy and cruising around on the Mystique with Captain Sandy. What'd you do for your 40th over the pandemic?
Oh, I think we just got takeout Thai food. That was it. What about you?
We got carry out fish, like from Bonefish. Okay. And then we watched Hamilton because it had just come out on Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So I feel like we have to redeem ourselves in Vegas make that our 40th birthday.
Okay, so that sounds like a good plan.
Okay. I'm just making all these plans as we go.
I like it. So Ruan gets a text with some bad news. One of his best friends just died in a horrible accident. And this is his friend since the age of 8. Luca is comforting. And this is so, so sad. And things are not off to a good start for Ruan.
I think it was really nice that Luca was there for him. But this day is not going well for him at all.
No. So the next day, the charter guests arrive. They tour the boat, including the galley, and they tell Jack, no pressure, but we've been eating at Michelin star restaurants all week. That's
a good way to build the confidence of the person making your meals when you come on board. That's really well done.
Yeah, he's also already nervous.
Did you catch how many times Natalia said, I'm the chief stew for this trip? I'm the chief stew for this trip.
I lost count trip.
Yeah, I think I lost count at 5. She just wants to make sure that everyone knows what her role is, no matter how temporary it may be.
Exactly.
Good gravy.
So Sandy gets a call from Port Authority. They have some additional questions about Ruan's paperwork. They send over the certificate that they have, and it has someone else's photo on it, Kelly. And
weird.
So he cannot remain on board. So are these documents forged? That's the gist of it? The entire vessel could get detained because of this. Wow.
This is so unreal. But don't the producers do some sort of vetting on the yacht side of things? Or is that something that like the captain does once they're on board? Like, I don't understand. But yeah, I feel like
I don't know exactly, but there's multiple people like looking at these people, I'm sure. Or maybe the whole thing was staged, I don't know.
That could be.
Hard to say. So Sandy calls Ruan to her office. She's quizzing him about the certificate, and she asks where he went to school. And he's like, oh, on a boat in Monaco. And she said, okay, they don't have a school for this in Monaco. Yikes. And so he doesn't have his yacht masters. And so she has him pack his stuff and get off the boat.
So yacht master, for those who don't know, it's a offshore training. So I got some information from the International Yachting Training Worldwide website. Okay. And it's you get a certificate is a recreational certificate of competency to command sailing and or power vessels up to 24 meters in length and up to 150 nautical miles offshore. So it's like theory and live training and classroom stuff and practicals. So it sounds like it's a pretty important thing to do. You probably do a lot of like real world situations and stuff.
Yeah. Sounds like you need it, and you need the original certificate.
Yeah.
So Sandy texts Norma that she needs to get a new bosun. Shout out Norma.
Yeah.
Luca's going to be the interim bosun, and Luca says it's extremely weird to show up to a boat without your originals. It would be like showing a cop a photocopy of your driver's license when you got pulled.
I thought that was a really good comparison.
Yeah. Or like your passport, like you're going through customs. You're like, well, this is a copy, but it's certified.
Yeah, it's fine. The police signed off on it. It's good.
Yeah.
So how do you think Luca's going to do being the interim bosun?
I think he'll be okay. He seemed really comfortable when he came on Down Under. I think he'll be okay. I guess the thing we don't know is how he is as a leader. But I think he probably has the skills and the experience.
Yeah.
So we'll
I'm
see.
excited to see what he could do.
Yeah. And this is his very first time he's ever done this. So I'm excited for him. So lunchtime, the food looks amazing. Jack killed it right off the bat. He
Yeah,
says,
he did.
I'm Harry Potter and the galley is my Hogwarts.
Okay.
Okay.
The galley is huge. So big. Compared to below deck sailing yacht and down under
Yeah.
in my house, I just feel like the kitchen's huge.
Yeah. Zarina would love to have had a galley this big.
Yeah.
So one of the guests drops his iPhone in the hot tub and then he falls into the hot tub trying to rescue it. Grace, maybe you can add a little clip of that. I'll send it to you into this. But oh my gosh, that was just hilarious.
That escalated very quickly, didn't it?
It was like just one fumble bumble after another. God, that was funny. I could watch that a few more times, actually. So finally, we're getting ready to depart. A harbor pilot comes on board, or they have to come on board every time they depart and arrive. We have harbor pilots in Charleston too. You know, they know the harbor's intricacies.
Okay.
And apparently it's a good job if you can get it.
Is this a job that is just for major ports or tricky ports?
Maybe just commercial ports. You know, we have big container ships that come in here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, and this is a busy commercial port. So I'm guessing it's something like that.
I was going to say, because I feel like when in below deck sailing yacht, when they were doing the back end to, was it Corsica? And they were just kept going backwards. I feel like he could have used some help or like a tugboat or something, but nonetheless,
for sure.
Makes sense for the commercial side.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's see. It's getting late in the day. You know, they're kind of held up by the Ruan paperwork situation. So the guests did not get to do water sports or anything, but now it's time for dinner.
That's all right.
So Sandy joins them. You know, she's friends with the primary and she shares her sobriety journey with the guests. And she says she started off in this industry just washing boats. And she said because of what she's been through, she always gives people 3 chances because she was given so many chances.
I love that about her. And she shares her story to continue to help others. And she does always give chances. And she also lets people explain themselves. And she just doesn't do like real quick assumptions. So it's pretty good.
You're right about that. So they love dinner. It looks beautiful. The guests are cleaning their plates. Like there is nothing left. And Kian gets his cake. It's a good birthday celebration.
Very good.
So Ruan calls Sandy and he says he won't get the certificate sorted in time and he's just going to go on home and he will not be coming back.
Well, that was quick. Is this maybe a first to have somebody quit on the first day?
Maybe. I can't remember. You guys tell us. Has this happened where somebody leaves on the first day? This is pretty crazy. I mean, he didn't even get to leave the dock. But do you think this was all a scam? He had the forged paperwork and he knew he wasn't going to be able to do it, make it work.
Oh.
And he was just like, screw it. I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
And has he been
up
working?
Kind of thing?
Yeah. And has he been working on yachts previously and like they haven't needed it? And I don't know. This is pretty shady situation.
Yikes.
It's going to be really interesting to see who comes in as bosun.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, the guests are having a hot tub soak and Jessica suggests to Natalia that she write a list of morning duties for Brooke. And Natalia thinks she's going to be overwhelmed because she's a deck person who's just filling in as Stu. She's told her what things she needs to do in the morning. And Jessica's getting really worked up and kind of talking back. And Natalia somehow is just staying so calm. I don't know how. Yeah. But you know that's going to go right out the window when Kyle arrives because he really gets under her skin.
I was so surprised at how calm she was. And it could have been like, you know, when you go on vacation and you come back and everything's just like, it's good, we're good, everything's good.
Yeah, this is early days.
Very early days, but still on the honeymoon phase. So it is a different Natalia, but I'd be very curious, when Kyle shows up. I hope that's the next episode.
I know. I hope so. So the next day, Norma calls Sandy. She can't get anybody for 2 weeks.
What?
I know.
What are they going to do?
2 weeks. So the episode ends with a to be continued.
Our first one.
Yep. Our first one of the season. As you recall, last med season, every single episode was a to be continued.
It was the worst. It's like...
It was the worst, and it was also the best.
Yeah, that's true.
It's time for Hot Tub Convo, where we discuss what's happening with our favorite Below Deck cast members.
So last week, we asked you guys to tell us about kangaroo meat. I forgot about that. Okay. So our buddy, Ben Willoughby, said it's tough. It's basically 99% protein. It's very lean meat. Mm-hmm. Kangaroo is common. It's nothing really special. It's the crocodile, emu, and grubs that are the delicacy. Ew. Grubs, like in the yard grubs?
I think so. Gross.
Okay. Thank you, Ben. We miss you. Hope all is well. And at Redo400, they wrote us and said, kangaroo is extremely lean. No marbling. Let me say that again. Kangaroo is extremely lean. No marbling the fat like steak. Hence, it has to be cooked carefully. It's one of the healthiest red meats you can eat, and it carries a red wine sauce well. Good to know.
So many people answered this, and everybody just kept saying how lean it was. It's so lean. It's so lean. Notice nobody said it's so delicious. It's so good. It's just really lean. I don't think we need to be eating kangaroo.
Oh,
I did see they make kangaroo dog food, though. I don't know if we can get it here, but it exists. Like, there are dog food bags with a kangaroo on the bag.
So yeah, you got salmon, you got your lamb, you got beef,
chicken,
kangaroo jack. Just
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So Kelly, I've been making bracelets for BravoCon both for us and also to give away. And here's a couple right now.
Yeah.
Ones that say above deck. And anyway, they're so much fun to make.
So cute.
So I was thinking I could give some of our listeners bracelets that support us too. So if you guys become a supporter of ours at the $9.99 level, $9.99, I will mail you both an Above Deck sticker and one of these bracelets. So just send us an email or a DM with your wrist size, or just say small, medium, large, and I'll mail it to you. And the way you would do this is click the link in our Insta bio and then go down to support, or go to podcasters.spotify.com/pod/above deck to support your favorite podcasters. And as always, if you give us a 5-star review, send us a screenshot and we'll mail you a sticker. And that's no matter where you are in the world. We've sent them all over the world. So I love that postage for you. So it's so fun to make these bracelets. Oh, I could bring you your bracelets when I am there.
That's great. And I can give you yours.
Oh, very exciting. I was just planning to pack them for BravoCon, but I'll bring them. This is very exciting.
Excellent. So one of our listeners, Nicole, sent us a message.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole says that Gary has been removed from the list of attendees at BravoCon.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering with the Rolling Stone article and that scandal, what was going to happen. I just didn't think they would put him in a situation where people would be asking questions about it at BravoCon. And yeah, I'm not surprised.
No.
But yeah, he's very quietly been removed from the list.
Yeah.
And
I haven't seen him much on socials either.
No, he's not posting. He's not sharing anything. So yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting to see what's going to happen with the next season of Sailing Yacht, because it already wrapped filming before the scandal broke.
Yeah.
So if we hear anything else, we'll keep you updated.
It's time for our segment, Join Me in the Wheelhouse, where we decide who needs to see the captain for a stern talking to. So, Sarah, who gets your vote this week?
Ruan, hands down. I mean, that's an easy
Definitely.
one. Get your stuff together, Ruan, or don't be like conning people. I don't know what your deal is, but
yeah.
I'd
be curious to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, it would be interesting. Hopefully there'll be a reunion or he'll speak out on Instagram or something. So
Yeah.
we'll find out.
Cool. All right, Ruan.
Get up
This is the
here.
one time you're allowed back on the boat. So come on back on the boat. See the
And then
captain.
we'll ask you to leave again.
And then that's it for this week's episode of Above Deck. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And tell a friend. Don't forget to rate us and review at 5 stars only.
Please follow us on Instagram at abovedeckpod. You can email or leave us a voice memo at abovedeckpod@gmail.com. Until next week, I'm Sarah Goldman.
And I'm Kelly Busby. Thanks for joining us.